Yeah, good morning. Yesterday we saw market remain range bound, and though the the index remained range bound, but the side market or mid cap and small cap saw substantial corrections. Apart from that, U.S. market had seen some bounce back yesterday after the fall of Friday, and futures are also marginally positive. This is been driven by the statement from president over there that lockdown and all will be a last alternate, and will not be aggressive in putting up any lockdown at all. And apart from that, Asian markets are mixed, wherein Hong Kong and Korea are down, whereas the other markets are positive. And in commodity, if we see more or less nothing great changes, minor changes are there. Oil is at around $74, and which was there at same time yesterday also. Though yesterday it has seen volatility between 70 and 76, and aluminum is up by around 0.5%. Copper is flat. Iron ore is up by around 2%, and steel is up by around 0.5%. So nothing so great changes in that. The market is after a great fall on Friday is looking for more clarity, and that way the things can take directions. I'll request now technical team to take it from here.
Yes, good morning, all of you. This is Swati. Today, the market is likely to open on a flattish note looking towards the global cues, and we are going to witness some sideways momentum during a day. Yesterday, we have seen that the Nifty slipped below 17,000 psychological level, quoted a 16,780 levels as the low levels, and somehow manages to maintain a closing above 17,000 psychological mark, which gives the relief signs. But looking towards the rally of the market, or say the potential of the market, we believe that the selling pressure is likely to be carry forward for the coming few trading sessions, unless and until Nifty stays below 17,400 mark. 17,400 mark will act as a crucial resistance zones. Unless and until it doesn't break that level, the smooth fresh buying cannot be seen at the higher levels. So at the current level, for the today intraday purpose specific, 17,170 will be the first resistance level. If it's break that level, then we are going to witness some pullback rally towards 70,240 to 17,300 levels. Whereas on the downside, the immediate support is placed at 16,900. Below that level, we are going to witness some selling pressure, or say the profit booking, which might take a Nifty towards 16,850 to 16,700 levels on the downsides. So overall view will remain definitely cautious, as I said, unless and until Nifty doesn't break 17,400 levels on the higher sides. So trade each and every transactions, or say the stock calls with the strict stop losses. Coming towards the bank Nifty, we have seen that the bank Nifty had shown a good pullback rally from its 200-day moving average and maintain a closing above 36,200 levels, gives some sort of a relief sign. If the bank Nifty continues to show the good pullback rally like yesterday, then definitely we are going to witness such kind of a pullback rally into the Nifty also. So the pullback rally will majorly depend on the bank Nifty only. Looking towards the rally of the bank Nifty upside, the resistance is placed at 36,400 level. If it's break that level, then 36,700, 36,800 levels can be seen on the high side. Whereas on downside, the first immediate support is placed at 35,800. Below that level, we are likely to witness the sell-off, which might take a bank Nifty towards 35,500 to 35,400 levels on the low side. Coming towards the Nifty Finance, the resistance for the today is placed at 17,600. Above that level, 17,740 levels can be seen. On the other hand, 17,350 will be the first support zone for the Nifty Finance. Any move below that level, we expect Nifty Finance to touch the level of 17,240 to 17,200 levels. So these are the important support and resistance level for both three indices. We request all the traders and the investors to trade each and every stocks with the strict stop losses as long as the Nifty remains volatile and doesn't give the clear indication of the pullback rally. I think that's it from my end. I request derivative guys to take a call forward.
Thank you, Swati. A very good morning to everyone. This is Ayush Mehta. I'll be taking the derivative call. Now let's start by analyzing the option chain. So if we look at the call option side of the data, the maximum open interest of 31 lakh contracts is placed at 18,000 strike, which is a very important, crucial resistance level. It is also the psychological resistance level in most of the investors and traders' mind for Nifty. But there's a very far strike price. So if we take a near strike price, then 17,500 will act as a very crucial resistance zone for Nifty, and a further buying rally will only be seen once there's a closing above 17,500 levels. Now moving on to the put option data, the maximum open interest of around 44 lakh contracts is at 17,000 strikes, which is a very important support level. It is a very strong support level for Nifty, as we have witnessed in last two trading sessions. Also, Nifty went down below 17,000, but there was a closing above that. So this is slightly a good sign. As long as Nifty is above 17,000, new selling won't come. Now look at the other data. The FIs were net sellers and sold around 3,300 crores worth of shares in the yesterday's trading session. And now looking at the India VIX is currently high at the moment and needs to come below 16 for any further rally. But PCR is an oversold zone, which is slightly a good sign for us. And if we talk about stocks under ban, then IBUL Housing is the only stock under ban. That's all from my side. I request fundamental guys to take the call forward.
Good morning. Today, one IPO will be opening, Star Health Insurance, and it will close on Thursday. We have a subscribe rating on it. The issue size is 7,200 crores and market cap will be 52,000 crores. Price per share is 900 rupees. And company almost 90% of the premium income for the company comes from the retail health insurance segment, where the industry itself is growing at 25% and Star is growing at 31%. And it has been consistently growing faster than the industry and increasing market share. So its market share today stands at 31%, which is the highest in the health side, health insurance, retail health insurance. And number two player in this particular segment is HDFC Ergo with just 10%. So Star is almost 3 times bigger than the number two player. Company posted losses in last 1.5 years. This is mainly because of impact of COVID, where many people were hospitalized and company had to dole out much larger claims than any usual year. So this is an aberration, and once COVID is behind, the company should again go back to posting ROE of around 17 odd % on a steady state basis, which it did before COVID came. It is coming at same valuations that are commanded by ICICI Lombard at around 8 times price to book. And both the companies, ICICI Lombard and Star, if we compare, both have good operating metrics on generally where we measure general insurance companies on claims ratio and combined ratio as well as ROE. So on all parameters, both are identical. However, Star will be growing faster than ICICI Lombard, much faster. So that is the reason that we are bullish on this issue. However, only one concern remains that a third wave, if it comes in India, then it will definitely impact the company. And thus only if someone is having a long-term horizon, those people can apply in this IPO. Thank you.
Yeah, Runjun, are you talking anything?
No, sir, nothing specific.
Yeah, I'll take up. Yeah, good morning. Ratnamani Metal and Tubes has received new domestic orders worth rupees 298 crores from the oil and gas sector. This will be executed between Feb 22 to January 23. With this new order, the company's total order is stands at rupees 2,040 crores. This is positive for the company. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Yeah, this is Akansha here. Mastech has been awarded a healthcare contract of pound 45 million by National Health Services in UK. This is positive to the company. Other than this, Go Fashion is listing today. It is a bottom wear brand under the brand name Go Colors. And FY 2021 being a washout year due to COVID, taking FY20 into consideration, the company has sales has grown by 37.4% and EBITDA margins for the company stood at 32.3%. Q1 FY22, the company had recorded a growth of 200% year on year, indicating the recovery. We expect that the company has the potential to grow at a good growth rate even going ahead. At the upper price band of rupees 690, Go Fashion was offered at a PE of 70.8 times FY20 EPS. We had recommended a subscribe to the issue. Thank you.
Yeah, apart from that, yesterday Kirloskar Ferrous had a call for the acquisition which they had done of ISMT. The ISMT is into heavy debt and was not working well and incurring losses because of heavy losses on account of interest. ISMT had a debt of around 3,500 crore, including interest accumulated over many years. ISMT is into mainly seamless pipe like Maharashtra Seamless, and also they have a steel plant. So it's more of a forward integration for Kirloskar Ferrous, which is acquired it. Kirloskar Ferrous has acquired around 51% holding in it at the price of somewhere around 31 rupees. Considering the debt restructuring, which company had said they will be settling all the debt and whatever the interest accumulated at a total cost of around 670 crores. So that act quite positively. Current market cap is, including dilution, will be somewhere around 1,000 crore and debt of around 6,767, and the debt in the company post this will be around 150 crore, as the money will be infused into the company and that money will be paid to the lender. So considering the value of around EV of around 1,150 crores for ISMT, that looks positive, considering the company will get revived over a period of time, maybe in a years or year and a half time. Company expect that it can do turnover of around 3,000 crore and also EBITDA margin, generic base EBITDA margin of around 10%. There is a scope for further improvement of that also. So that itself leave scope for price to move up. So outlook on ISMT is positive. Apart from that, even Kirloskar Ferrous, though company is consistently showing sign of improvement or various projects they are taking up to expand the capacity and also improve the margins. Near term Q3 result will be seeing impact of higher coke prices, higher coking coal prices, which will have an impact on the margins. But the long term seems comparatively positive for Kirloskar Ferrous as well. So that's all from us. And yeah, apart from this, Coal India has announced interim dividend of ₹9 as was expected, and this may support the prices in near term. But apart from that, Coal India outlook in near term seems positive, considering that the international coal prices, though has come down from $220 to around $135. And before 3-4 months, the prices of coal was running between $80 and $100. So international coal prices continue to remain high, as compared to the earlier level. So this has created good demand for e-auction for Coal India e-auction sales, and demand for local coal has also increased. So that will support the Coal India performance in coming quarters. So outlook on Coal India also remain positive, and interim dividend will support that. That's all from us. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.